Powered by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
Federal prosecutors are in the final stages of their investigation into the president's former personal attorney. I'm Laura Podesta with details on when Michael Cohen could be criminally charged.
And new evacuation orders due to a wildfire in Glacier National Park, where campers and staff are being told to leave. That's coming up.
Good morning to you. It is coming up on 6:28. I'm Missy O'Malley with Chet Lehman. Matt Elwell will have our Monday forecast in just a moment. Our story for you now: the investigation into a former fixer for President Trump may be wrapping up.
And Rudy Giuliani coins a new phrase when defending President Trump in the Russia investigation. CBS's Laura Podesta has the details.
Federal prosecutors are in the final stages of their investigation into Michael Cohen, President Trump's former personal attorney. Authorities are looking into whether Cohen committed bank or tax fraud with his financial and business dealings. Investigators are also examining whether he violated campaign finance and other laws by arranging payments to secure the silence of women who claim they had affairs with Mr. Trump. That includes a $130,000 payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels. CBS News has learned prosecutors could file charges against Cohen by the end of the month. The investigation began under special counsel Robert Mueller, who then referred the potential evidence to the U.S. Attorney's Office in Manhattan. Mueller is investigating any coordination between the Trump campaign and Russian meddling in the 2016 election.
Look, I'm not going to be rushed into having him testify so that he gets trapped into perjury.
On Sunday, Rudy Giuliani, the president's current personal attorney, said an interview between the special counsel and Mr. Trump may not be needed. It led to this exchange trending now on social media.
Because it's somebody's version of the truth, not the truth. He didn't have a conversation.
Truth is
about...
truth. I don't mean to go like...
No, it isn't truth. Truth isn't truth.
Giuliani says he was trying to explain he's concerned Mueller would attempt to catch the president in a lie. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
Now, President Trump yesterday tweeted about the investigation, quote, "We are now in a period with Mueller and his gang that make Joseph McCarthy look like a baby. Rigged witch hunt," end quote.
In other news, the Howe Ridge fire in Glacier National Park doubled in size on Sunday, and currently it's 7,835 acres, and new evacuation orders have been issued. Firefighters in the park are evacuating the Fish Creek campground on the northwest side of Lake McDonald. This includes all campers, Park Service employees, and the Fish Creek Ranger Station. Structure protection efforts are continuing along the north end of Lake McDonald. Currently, sprinkler systems are in use, and crews are installing hoses and more sprinklers to minimize potential fire spread towards going to the Sun Road and Glacier National Park lodges. They made that decision on Friday to close Lake McDonald Lodge for the remainder of the 2018 summer season.
Closer to home, south of Ennis, as of 6 o'clock this morning, some evacuation orders have been lifted for the Monument and Wigwam fires. Residents will be allowed back into their homes in the Hay Press Lake area, but an evacuation warning remains, meaning homeowners may have to leave again at any time. Wigwam fire has currently burned 4,191 acres, is 50% contained, while the Monument fire has burned 5,733 acres. It's just 10% contained. Only a little rain was reported over both fires this weekend. Crews say the showers did not affect the fire. About 70% of the timber in the burned area is standing dead trees killed by insects.
Staying in fire news, the 9,191 acre Goldstone fire west of Dillon slowed a little bit this weekend as light rain arrived. Winds are causing spots fires about a half-mile up the main blaze, but on Saturday, crews managed to find and contain one of the larger spot fires. Crews using heavy equipment have nearly finished building fire lines on the north side and may move to other parts of the fire as of today. The 2,000-acre Beaver Creek fire north of Wisdom also slowed some this weekend. Crews there are working to remove brush and to build fire lines before the blaze reaches private property. And a public meeting about both fires will be held Tuesday night at 7 p.m. at the Wisdom Community Building.
Well, firefighters from the East Coast are coming to the Treasure State to help with wildfires. MTN's Elizabeth Transu was at the Great Falls Airport when they touched down.
A 737 jet flew over the hazy electric city carrying 100 firefighters, all here to help the Treasure State.
Once we had a crew together, we were very excited to come out and support the fire suppression effort out here in Montana.
The men and women will be splitting up and going to 3 fires.
There's a lot of logistics involved in moving hundreds of people across the country. A lot of us do fire for our careers, and this is part of our jobs. And, you know, we look to go and help out wherever needed. In this case, it's Montana, and so we're excited to help you all.
The Goldstone Fire and Wigwam Fire in the Beaverhead Deer Lodge National Forest, and the Sterling Complex Fire in the Kootenai National Forest.
So we've reached a point where we have maxed out our local resources, and so when we do that, we call in resources from other areas and other states to help us out.
And although it's currently quite rainy on the East Coast, that doesn't mean these firefighters are rookies when it comes to battling the flames.
There's a system in place where we get a lot of information about issues with fuels, fire behavior. That's all stuff that is given to us in a briefing.
But there's one thing for sure, whether you're a Montanan at heart or from out of state, the men and women become family.
You really do build up trust in the folks you're working with and trust in the incident management team you're working for, and it's a good bonding experience.
In Great Falls, Elizabeth Transu, MTN News.
Well, it kind of comes back around. We have been sending firefighters around the country for years to help out. Now it's a turn for a little payback from those folks from elsewhere, and we appreciate the help.
We really do.
Be safe while you're here, please.
Yes, no kidding.
Looks like the smoke is really our big issue for most of us right now. The fires are going to continue to burn across the area. The smoke's going to continue to pour in. Latest air quality report hasn't changed much. In fact, yellows, oranges, and reds for virtually everybody in Montana, which means that air quality is going to be a big issue. Temperatures holding into the 50s for most of us, 32 in West Yellowstone. Looks like that smoke and haze will continue, but we are going to add the potential of some rain showers. We'll probably have some gusty winds at times today. We're going to talk more about our fire potential, the fire dangers that we have ahead. That's all coming up in just a little bit.
Yellows and oranges and reds, oh my. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate that. Now, yesterday, Main Street in Bozeman was packed with vintage cars. MTN's Madeiras Bab reports on how people young and old came together to celebrate their love of cars.
Well, I'm kind of just like, well, okay, I gotta be really careful on this turn. It looks pretty hard. Whoa, okay, need gas, need gas. So.
8-year-old James Dearman didn't have to travel far to get to the 18th annual Cruisin on Main. In fact, he lives right here in Bozeman. Dearman entered his rally cart he built back in 2017.
Well, I just thought it'd be really fun to see other new cars and have mine in it. And it'd be fun to have a chance to win a trophy.
Each year, people get to pick their favorite car in the show. This 56 Ford Victoria was the 2017 winner.
Dearman has some stiff competition this year. There's this Hayward Farms ice cream truck, this hand-painted Harley, and this 1957 Chevy mobile home all the way from Arizona. Owner David Soul built it out of a 2-ton truck frame.
Well, we've only ever passed people on the road, and we leave them looking like, oh, what was that? So it's fun to, we've met so many people here today said, I saw you in Yellowstone, or yeah, yesterday you were on 191 up, and it's amazing. But it's fun to share back, because, you know, I built it for my personal comfort, then our comfort, and now to have for people to have fun with it, it's just great.
All of the proceeds from the 300 cars that were entered are donated to the Cancer Support Community, a group dedicated to helping cancer survivors find support groups and health and wellness programs in their town. In Bozeman, Madeiras Bab, MTN News.
What fun that was. We're going to shift gears just a little bit. This week under the big sky, Wheat Montana harvests 15,000 acres every year. The farm near Three Forks wasn't always this large. It's grown since Dean Folkford's grandparents ran their small dairy farm outside of Helena. Dean attributes their success and growth to some common Montana values.
Under the Big Sky is sponsored by Rocky Mountain Vein Clinic and Markovich Real Estate.
Luckily, I got to grow up around my grandparents that were just hardworking people. They had dairies, and they were people that got up every morning at 5 a.m. and went out and milked the cows, you know. I I think because my dad and mom both grew up on farms, that they were committed to being somehow involved in agriculture throughout their whole life. And so my dad and mom came together and they ended up buying that little farm that her folks had outside of Helena. And that was the start of their farming operation back in the 60s. Whatever they lacked in terms of education and expertise, they made up with hard work. As they had, small little tidbits of success, they continued to drive each other to do more. Started out with a farm of about a couple hundred acres, and throughout the course of the next 20 or 30 years in my dad's career, he continued to add on and continued to save money and take chances. It was amazing how much he put together in his lifetime. My dad said, "Dad, do you want to be a partner in a bigger operation down around Three Forks?" I said, "Sure." I was in high school then. So in '78, we moved to Three Forks on this dryland farm here and started farming.
Well, there's much more to that story. If you want to watch the full Wheat Montana story, head on over to underthebigsky.com.
Love that yearbook photo.
That's a great one,
nice,
yeah.
Dean.
Very dapper, Dean, very dapper.
Farrah Fawcett hairstyle, I love it. It is time for a quick break. When we return, the first generic EpiPen has hit the market. We have the buzz about it in just a moment.
But first, let's check in with Nora O'Donnell, see what's coming up at 7 o'clock on CBS This Morning.
Good morning ahead, and only on CBS This Morning, Anna Warner speaks with a former school groundskeeper who now has cancer. Lee Johnson opens up about his landmark case against agriculture giant Monsanto and the lessons he's passing on. And we'll take you to the spot where an iconic old bridge is now becoming an artificial reef. See you right at 7.